Doggone it, I did it again. Keep forgetting to unmute that microphone while I'm going on blah blah blah. So as I was saying, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I had a canker sore in my throat. That's why I didn't stream last week. I was in incredible pain, but I'm back to as close to 100% as I can get. I'm looking at my lighting here. It looks a little dark. Give me one sec. I'm gonna bump that exposure up just a touch. There we go. There. Now it's not so bad. How is everyone doing? Yes. Yep, Gary, I see that you can't hear me, but I think we got that rectified now. Yeah. How is everyone? I'm a lot of breath because I was just fighting with getting our sprinklers turned on. Running back and forth, front yard to backyard, and so I'm ready to just kind of sit here, relax, and work on our script. You'll have to pardon me while I sip on my smoothie throughout the stream here. It's my lunch. Okay. So, we last left off on Dr. Shaman's expression changes from grieving to angry determination. Sorry, try to spare you my noisy swallowing. So yes, that was end of Act 2, I believe. Let's take a look here. Yeah, gets the phone call that the nurse has been killed. Let's zoom that out a touch so I can navigate a little better. Okay. Hello, hello. I see your comment there, Gary. Hope you're doing okay. Saw your text earlier. Don't be pushing yourself too hard. Pardon me. Alrighty, so Dr. Shaman comes to the grim determination while consulting his conspiracy board that the cat must be stopped. Pardon me. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, so we haven't established that he's got his little conspiracy board. I know that was something that I had thrown out there that might be fun to have, visually show how he's kind of being driven crazy by this. But with the way the story's turned out so far, I don't know if that really fits. Because he hasn't really been going super crazy up to this point. But this could be the moment that makes him say, "Hey, it's over. Let's chart this out." Yeah, let me think. How do we want to do this? Dr. Shaman comes to grim determination. The main thing is coming to the determination that the cat must be stopped, not necessarily while consulting his board. So if owner 4 brings the cat in again. I wonder, do we just go straight to the 4th owner's visit? Do a time jump? I don't know, maybe... Well, let's see how it plays out. Maybe in the full reading it doesn't work, but for now, let's just jump ahead. We'll have it jump ahead. Do a time jump. Interior exam room day. Let me think. Sometime later. owner 4 sits in the exam room. Cat carrier on the table. Dr. Shaman enters. Maybe 4th owner gets him at the kennel. Yeah, I guess we need to decide how does how has owner 3 died, or maybe this number is not important. I think at this point we're kind of jumping. Yeah, we're doing a time jump. He's got the cat. We have the 4th owner. I don't even think we really want to dwell too much on the 4th owner, because really this is between Shaman and Bartholomeow. So I think we'll guarded may not be the right term. Hello again, Bartholomeow. Bartholomeow meows from inside the carrier. To owner 4. And you're a new face. Yeah, I inherited the little guy after his... Sorry, it's junk on my keyboard. Looked like a cat hair on my keyboard. Bartholomeow. Oh no. There's that silly song again. I do not want that in my playlist because it keeps throwing me off of that record scratch. I don't know if you can even hear it. There we go. That's the problem with... I can hear it just fine in my headphones, but I keep forgetting that I've got the volume turned lower. Anywho. I inherited the little guy after his old owner passed away. Dr. Shaman was expecting this and yeah, gives Bartholomeow a steely stare. I don't know, I might be a little too flowery with my language, but I don't care. Is that so? I'm sorry to hear that. Bartholomeow meets his gaze, wide-eyed innocence. Dr. Shaman doesn't flinch as the stare down continues for an uncomfortable amount of time. Yeah, wait, let me rewrite that. Hang on. Owner 4 clears their throat. So, I noticed he's missing a bunch of claws from his front paws, and I wanted to get him checked out. Make sure he's okay. I know he's getting up there in years. Because, you know, he's been at this a while. Indeed. Well, let's take a look at him. He opens the carrier and carefully picks up the cat, holding him up at arm's length. Whoops. I can spell. At arm's length. He makes a show of examining. Actually, this might be kind of a montage. Ooh, what if we did that? Have kind of montage, maybe overlay some of his research and Bartholomeow very thoroughly. Memories of the previous owners, death listings, the how do I want to say this? I don't want to just say overlay. Maybe I should. Pass or flit through his mind, overlaid on memories of the previous owner's death listings flit through his mind, overlaid on top of what's the word I'm looking for? Come on, brain, work. Overlaid over? No, that's not right. Overlaid on, yeah, that's right. Overlaid on the exam. Yeah, we'll just say it like that. We'll just cut. Here, let's do it like this. We'll say montage. And then oh, here we go. I know how I want to say this now. We see memories overlaid on top of the shot. So breaking a rule here. Not supposed normally in these kind of spec scripts you're not supposed to give camera direction, but well, since I'm gonna be the one making this, I guess I can break the rule. Let's see here. I see memories overlaid on top of shots of Shaman checking out the cat. The long list of previous owners. Liz's obituary. Or Liz's death headline and obituary. The faces of each previous owner as they had brought the cat in. Each claw going missing, and so on. So we're there. So we're here. Okay, so yeah, that'll be our montage. Say end montage. Finally, he sets Bartholomeow down on the table, and exam complete. Owner 4 pets, or owner 4 gives him a gentle pet. Oops, I've been spelling shaman wrong. Stand by. Whoops. There we go. Forgot how to spell our main character's name. Yikes. That's what happens when you don't look at the script for 2 weeks. Well, like you said, he's getting on in age. Or, like I said, he's definitely not a kitten anymore. He's seen a lot. He's seen a lot of action in his time. So therefore, concerned, is he okay? Sherman doesn't answer right away. Sorry, hang on. Organize my screens here a little bit. Dr. Sherman doesn't answer right away. He considers his words carefully as he watches Bartholomeow sit and innocently scratch himself behind the ear. I hate to say it. Obviously, I would want it delivered that, obviously, but I hate to say it. But I think... But I'm afraid he's not in very good shape. Bartholomew pauses his scratch. Oh, the music in the background is nice. Yeah, this is the original soundtrack from In His Steps when we originally shot it as a web series. So like that last track that we heard was the opening title music. The first half of the movie we originally did them as webisodes, and so like basically the first half was like season 1. But then we decided, okay, no, we're just gonna make this a movie instead of a multi-season web series, and we have a movie. Do that, and then so our composer redid the soundtrack for the movie version. For some reason, I just guess I don't have the hard drive plugged in that has the final soundtrack, just the old school, the first draft soundtrack. Whoops. No, wait. Oh my gosh. There. No. There. I can write. it looks like... Oh wait, hang on. This is... Okay, really what's wrong with him? Dr. Shaman keeps his eyes locked on Bartholomeow. Well, it looks like the loss of so many claws has led to infection that's been eating him up from the inside out. See how thin he is? He's not that thin. Honor 4 looks him over, concerned. Doesn't look that bad to me. Or didn't think he looked that bad. Guess he is a little on the lean side. Bartholomeow keeps his eyes locked on Dr. Shaman. Yeah, we're catching it early, but I'm afraid something like this can't be treated. Oops. Oh, I see. Do you think... I keep saying that. I'm afraid. It's your call, but I think it might be past time to... How do I want to word it? Put him out of his misery? No, I want something that is going to have that extra meaning of, like, he's talking to Bartholomew and saying, I know what you've done, and I'm putting a stop to this, without making him sound like a crazy person to the owner. Might be past time for... Like, in his mind, he's thinking it might be past time for him to face justice. Let me think. I think it might be past time. Maybe just for him to be put down. I think that might be a better way. It's your call, but I think it might be past time for him to be put down. Because, I think that's probably the best. He's still being tactful, but it can still have that weight behind it. Like, having that meaning to the cat, like, I know what you're doing. To put an end to your mad catness. I think it might be past time for him to be put down. Bartholomew stares, unblinking, to Dr. Shaman's defiant eyes. It's impossible to read the cat's expression to know what he's thinking, but he clearly understands what's being said. Alright. It's probably for the best. I wouldn't want him living in pain. You're making the right call. It's always best to... I almost had it. What was it? Making the right call. I had it and I just lost it just as I was trying to write it down. Oh, shoot. Something about ending pain. I think. It's always best to keep an animal out of pain. No, I don't know. You're making the right call. I think this is best for everyone. Then interior, vet's office hallway. Day. Later. Laster. What? Later. Laters. I can't. Right. Clearly here. Oh, ooh. Owner 4 exits the exam room holding the empty carrier low. Oh man, what was that? Let me find it. I just kind of got a mental picture from the Joker movie when he's when he's walking down the hallway. Let me pull it up here after these messages. Jumping through. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, this be. Yeah, kind of slow motion like this, except like having the empty carrier behind. Not so grim here, but a shot kind of like that. Low at their side. And walks down the hall. Okay, I think I got it. Fade to black, but then we fade to no, here we go. Nope. Fade to black. Do this one as a... Come on, where are you? General. Let's see. Months later? Years later? Probably years. I think we give him some, like a year or so. Because, cats can live a while. We don't know how old Bartholomeow is. We'll say 2 years later. Then we fade in. Interior exam room day. Dr. Shaman enters the exam room, greeting a new patient. Gary, you think it should be months? Because, yeah, the whole thing is the cat's going to come back. Because, the cat came back the very next day. Except not the very next day in this case. It's like, I want it to be long enough for Shaman to be completely at peace, almost have forgotten the cat. And then he's going to see him again in the exam room. So I want it to be long enough for him to be completely have moved on, become back into his comfortable routine, and then having it disrupted here at the last second. I don't know if months is long enough to... if it's less than a year, I would be worried it might be too soon. Maybe we could say 1 year later? Let's make it 1 year. Well, I don't know. I still kind of like the 2 years. I don't know. We'll leave it for now. If it feels... we can always change it later. Dr. Shaman enters the exam room, greeting a new patient. A cat carrier... a closed cat carrier sits on the exam table, and the patient sits on... Actually, no, hang on, let's try that. Not on the exam table. They're sitting in a chair, closed cat carrier on their lap. Hello, I'm Dr. Shaman. New patient. Nice to meet you. They shake hands. So, who are we taking a look at today? The patient opens the carrier. We're gonna finish this today. We're gonna finish it. This is gonna be the end of the first draft. We're almost there. Ah! Patient opens the carrier while speaking. Well, this little guy, I haven't settled on a name for him yet. I found the little guy in the alley behind my house. Poor thing was looking pretty ragged. Alright. Let's take a look. Ooh, okay. Oh, ooh, 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 ooh. He turns and washes his hands quickly in the sink. Back turned to the patient. Let's take a look at him. Whoops. Go ahead and put him on the table. Turn to the patient. As he dries his hands, he turns back to see Bartholomeow sitting on the exam table. Doctor. Dun dun dun! Shaman freezes, eyes wide in disbelief. Bartholomeow stares back, unblinking. He meows. Fade to black. Actually, we're going to say cut to black. Boom. The end. We did it! Took 7 episodes. 7 streaming sessions. The first draft is done. Guys, we have finished the first draft of Your Cat is a Serial Killer. Ah! This is awesome! So let's put the date in. 5/7/2021. Alright. It's our title page. I'm gonna save. Ah! That's it! We did it! We wrote a short film! This is awesome! Let me turn this down a touch. We did it! And let's see, it's 140 or 139. So it took about from brainstorming to completion. Probably took about 6 hours altogether. I have to go through and look at the actual, writing times. Let's read it. Let me turn the music off. Let's read it. Let me unsplit the view here. Turn you off. Go back. Thank you. And now we shall read. I mean, obviously, we still got a lot of work to do on the rewrites. Got to come up with some names for the owners. Got to, polish things up. I got to do a bit more research on vet practices and cat anatomy and all that. But let's just go ahead and read through. Fade in. Interior vet's office, waiting room, day. A busy veterinarian's office. Several people with their various cats and dogs sit, waiting for their turn. A nurse comes in, consulting her clipboard. Nurse. Bartholomeow? Mr. Johnson, a middle-aged man, stands up with his angel-eyed yellow cat Bartholomeow in his carrier and exits with nurse. Interior exam room, day. The nurse brings Mr. Johnson and Bartholomew into the exam room. All right, Dr. Shaman will be with you shortly. Nurse exits. Mr. Johnson lets the cat out onto the exam table and pets him. Bartholomew meows sweetly and rubs against Mr. Johnson, acting generally cute and sweet. After a moment, Dr. Shaman enters. Hello there, I'm Dr. Shaman, and who do we have here? This is Bartholomew. That's a cute name. How'd you come up with it? Oh, I didn't. That was the name my mother gave him. I inherited him after she passed away. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. It's alright. I noticed he was missing some claws in his front left foot, so I figured I should get him checked out. Absolutely, let's take a look. Dr. Shaman gently grabs Bartholomew's paw and checks it out. Sure enough, it looks like the claws are gone, but it doesn't look like he had them surgically removed. Or removed surgically. He examines the right paw, squeezing it to reveal all claws intact. Looks like everything's fine on this paw. Interesting. Wonder what happened. To Bartholomew, what's your story, little guy? Bartholomew looks at Dr. Shaman, the picture of innocence. He meows sweetly. Fade 2. Sorry, I had a bit of my smoothie stuck in my mouth there. Later, Dr. Shaman walks out with Mr. Johnson and Bartholomew. Well, apart from the claws, everything looks good. Let us know if you have any concerns or questions. Thank you, Dr. Shaman. Have a great day. Bye, Bartholomew. Bartholomew meows sweetly again. The men chuckle as Mr. Johnson leaves, and Dr. Shaman returns to his office. Fade 2. Exterior vet's office, day. Owner 2 walks to the front door, cat carrier in hand. Super, months later. So super is text on the screen, superimposed. Interior exam room, day. Owner 2 stands beside the cat carrier on the exam table. The contents of the carrier are unseen for the moment. Excuse me. Dr. Shaman enters, clipboard with charts in hand. Hi there, I'm Dr. Shaman. Hello. Owner 2 opens the cat carrier. And who do we have here? He consults the clipboard and hesitates, surprised. Bartholomew? Bartholomew meows sweetly as he steps out of the carrier. Well, hi there. I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were related to Mr. Johnson. Oh, I'm not. He was my next-door neighbor. I took in Bartholomew after he passed away. Oh, my, I had no idea. What happened? Well, from what I understand, he was riding in a hot air balloon at the fair, and something malfunctioned. The balloon crashed, and he didn't make it. Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, he actually had Bartholomew with him. He had become so attached to him, with getting him from his late mother and all, that he wouldn't let him out of his sight. Took him everywhere. The cat was in the balloon? Apparently. I figured I should get him checked out. Absolutely. Let's take a look. I'm already not a fan of this. That might be too outlandish. I know we took it from the song, but that may need to be changed. Dr. Shaman methodically looks over Bartholomew. He checks his front paws, starting with the right. Upon squeezing it, only 4 claws extend. Oh, looks like he's missing a claw on his right forefoot. He examines him a little more, listening to heart and lungs, etc. Well, apart from the claw, everything seems in good shape. Keep an eye on him and let me know if he starts acting like he's in pain. Thank you, Doctor. Dr. Shaman watches them leave, thinking hard to himself. Fade 2, interior exam room, day. Several months later. Dr. Shaman enters the exam room, reading the charts. Hello, hello. Looks like we've got Mr. Bartholomew again. Is everything... He looks up to see Owner 3 standing beside Bartholomew at the table. Okay? Hi. Well, I adopted him from a family at church after their mother passed away suddenly. I noticed he had some claws missing and thought I should have him checked out. Dr. Shaman reacts, very surprised at this news. Oh, my, I'm so sorry to hear that. Let's take a look at those claws. He gently checks the right paw, revealing one less claw from before. My, it looks like he's lost another one. Another one? When he was brought in before, he was missing 1 claw on his right paw. Now he's missing 2. I wonder what happened. He looks Bartholomew in the face. The cat returns the look with wide-eyed innocence. What have you been up to, I wonder? Bartholomew simply meows sweetly in reply, not breaking his gaze. Fade 2, interior Dr. Shaman's office, night. In his office that night, Dr. Shaman browses Bartholomew's records on his computer. As he scrolls through, he comes to a list titled Previous Owners. Mr. Johnson, Owner 2, and Owner 3's names are there, followed by 4 other names. Each name has a date range of several months to no more than a year each. Dr. Shaman ponders this, concerned. Interior vet's office waiting room, day. The next day, Dr. Shaman walks in the front door, greeting the nurse at the check-in counter. Good morning, Liz. Good morning, Dr. Shaman. How are you? Dr. Shaman hesitates, uncertain how much to say. Well, I found out something weird. You know that cat that came in yesterday, Bartholomeow? Oh yeah, he's a sweetheart. Well, I looked into his list of previous owners, and it turns out this is his 7th home. Oh, really? Yeah, I did some digging, and it turns out each of the previous owners passed away within a year of owning him. Whoa, that's crazy. Yeah, kind of makes you wonder. Wonder what? If the cat's a serial killer or something? She laughs as she returns to her morning duties. Dr. Shaman smiles, but then pauses to consider the idea. Interior Dr. Shaman's office, day. Dr. Shaman enters his office, putting his briefcase down by the desk. He sits and jiggles the computer mouse, waking up the screen. Bartholomew's charts are still pulled up. He studies them some more, and then notices that there is an entry under previous veterinarian, Dr. Name, with a phone number underneath. Intrigued, he pulls out his phone and dials. After a couple of rings, receptionist. Name Vet Clinic, how can I help you? Yes, hi, this is Dr. Shaman. Can I speak to Dr. Name, please? Oh, I'm sorry. I guess you hadn't heard. Dr. Name passed away last year. He was in an auto accident. Let's fix that now. Car accident. Oh my, I'm so sorry. Stunned, he hangs up and stares at the previous owner's list on the screen. Interior vet's office waiting room, day. The nurse is at the reception desk. No patients have arrived for the day yet. Dr. Shaman, a bit shell-shocked, enters. Nurse. Are you okay? I just found out that Dr. Name died last year in a car crash. Oh no, that's terrible. He was Bartholomew's old vet. Nurse reacts, surprised. Wait, are you seriously thinking the cat has something to do with all those deaths? That he killed his old vet, too? I know it sounds crazy, but I just don't know. Nurse puts her hands on his shoulders and gives him a small shake. Dr. Shaman? Whoops. Scroll too far. Where'd I go? There it is. Dr. Shaman, that cat is not a serial killer. You seriously need to snap out of this. Dr. Shaman ponders for a moment, hesitating. I know. This is nuts. I don't know why this is getting to me. When was the last time you took a vacation? The front door chimes as a patient comes in with a dog. It's definitely been a while, especially when we're this busy. You're right, maybe I just need some time off. Thanks. He smiles at the nurse as he leaves. The nurse watches him go, concerned. It's crazy, right? She shakes her head and returns to the reception desk to check in the newly arrived patient. I'll be right with you. Quickly, she looks up Bartholomew's information on her computer and jots down owner 3's phone number on a piece of paper. Sorry about that. How can I help you? Phase 2, interior nurse's car, day. At the end of the day, the nurse gets into her car to go home. She pulls a scrap of paper with the phone number from her pocket and dials on her phone. After a few rings... Hello? Hi, this is Liz from Dr. Shaman's office. I was just calling with a quick question for you. Is it about Bartholomew? No. Well, sort of. I actually had a question about his previous owner. I understand she passed away. Oh, yeah, it was terrible. She was taking a bath and somehow her curling iron fell into the tub. Oh, that's awful. Yeah, the family found out when Bartholomew started pawing on the door and meowing like crazy. Oh, was he inside the bathroom with her? Interior, owner 3's house, day. Owner 3 is sitting on a recliner, petting Bartholomew on their lap. Yeah, he likes to follow people around. They figure he got stuck inside. Liz reacts, growing suspicion. Growing suspicion? Suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Could he have knocked the curling iron in? Owner 3 continues petting Bartholomew. They're not sure, but I doubt it. I'm sure she never usually kept it that close to the tub. But the kids were pretty traumatized and couldn't handle keeping the cat around. Yeah, I can imagine. Why do you ask, by the way? Well, we were looking at his records and noticed that he's had a lot of previous owners that have passed away. Oh, my, that's too bad. Sounds like the little guy might be cursed. Owner 3 tousles Bartholomew's head. Bartholomeow meows sweetly. Liz forces a chuckle, but she's starting to get suspicious. Oh, I'm sure he's not. Sorry to bother you. I was just curious. Goodbye. She hangs up and ponders. No way. He couldn't be. Could he? She shakes off the thought, starts her car, and drives away. Fade 2. Vet's office the next day. Dr. Shaman. Interior Dr. Shaman's office day. Dr. Shaman flops into his chair, devastated. He absently tosses the day's newspaper onto his desk. On the front page is the headline, "One Dead in Freeway Accident." A photo shows the mangled wreckage of Liz's car. The caption underneath reads, "The driver, identified as Liz Sawyer, was pronounced dead at the scene. The cause of the accident was not immediately known." As Dr. Shaman reels from the news, his phone rings. He answers. Dr. Shaman. Hi, Dr. Shaman, this is Name. I'm Bartholomew's owner? Dr. Shaman reacts. He's fully attentive now. Oh, yes, how can I help you? I just saw the news about Nurse Liz's accident. I'm so sorry. Thank you. We're all pretty shaken by this. It's so weird, you know. I was just talking to her yesterday. She was asking about Bartholomew's previous owners, and man, it's just so freaky. That news hits Dr. Shaman hard. Without looking, he hangs up the phone and looks at Bartholomew's printed chart hanging from a bulletin board on his wall. Oh yeah, I forgot that was there. Hey, Lionblade, how you doing? We just finished the first draft of the script, and so I'm reading through it all. We're almost at the end. As he stares down the photo of Bartholomew, Dr. Shaman's expression changes from grieving to angry determination. Interior exam room day. Super. Sometime later. Owner 4 sits in the exam room, cat carrier on the table. Dr. Shaman enters. Hello again, Bartholomew. Bartholomew meows from inside the carrier. To the owner. And you're a new face. Yeah, I inherited the little guy after his old owner passed away. Dr. Shaman was expecting this and gives Bartholomew a steely stare. How about a hard stare? Is that so? Sorry to hear that. Bartholomew meets his gaze, wide-eyed innocence. Dr. Shaman doesn't flinch as the stare-down continues for an uncomfortable amount of time. Owner 4 clears their throat. So, I noticed he's missing a bunch of claws from his front paws, and I wanted to get him checked out, make sure he's okay. I know he's getting up there in years. Indeed. Well, let's take a look at him. Whoops, let's take a look at him. He opens the carrier and carefully picks up the cat, holding him up at arm's length. Montage. He makes a show of examining Bartholomew very thoroughly. We see memories overlaid on top of the shots of Shaman checking out the cat. Let's turn that into a colon. Whoops. Cat. The long list of previous owners. Liz's death headline and obituary. The faces of each previous owner as they had brought the cat in. Each claw going missing. End montage. Finally, he sets Bartholomew down on the table. Exam complete. Owner 4 gives him a gentle pet. Let's clarify the cat. He didn't just pet Dr. Shaman. Well, like you said, he's definitely not a kitten anymore. He's seen a lot of action in his time. Is he okay? Dr. Shaman doesn't answer right away. He considers his words carefully as he watches Bartholomew sit and innocently scratch himself behind the ear. I hate to say it, but I'm afraid he's not in very good shape. Bartholomew pauses his scratching. Oh, really? What's wrong with him? Dr. Shaman keeps his eyes locked on Bartholomew. Well, it looks like the loss of so many claws has led to infection that's been eating him up from the inside out. See how thin he is? Owner 4 looks him over, concerned. I didn't think he looked that bad. I guess he is a little on the lean side. Bartholomew keeps his eyes locked on Dr. Shaman. Yeah, we're catching it early, but I'm afraid something like this can't be treated. Oh, I see. Do you think... It's your call, but I think it might be past time for him to be put down. Bartholomew stares, unblinking, into Dr. Shaman's defiant eyes. It's impossible to read the cat's expression to know what he's thinking, but he clearly understands what's being said. Owner 4. All right. It's probably for the best. I wouldn't want him living in pain. You're making the right call. I think this is best for everyone. Bartholomeow slowly blinks. Interior vet's office, hallway, day. Later, Owner 4 exits the exam room and walks down the hall, holding the empty carrier low at their side. Fade to black. 2 years later. Fade into interior exam room, day. Dr. Shaman enters the exam room, greeting a new patient. They're sitting in a chair, closed cat carrier on their lap. Hello, I'm Dr. Shaman. Nice to meet you. They shake hands. So, who are we taking a look at today? The patient opens the carrier while speaking. Well, I haven't settled on a name for him yet. I found the little guy in the alley behind my house. Poor thing was looking pretty ragged. All right, let's take a look at him. Go ahead and put him on the table. He turns and washes his hands quickly in the sink, back turned to the patient. As he dries his hands, he turns back to see Bartholomeow sitting on the exam table. Shaman freezes, eyes wide in disbelief. Bartholomew stares back, unblinking. He meows. Cut to black. The end. What was it, about 15 and a half pages. Boy, this is going to be a long little short film. Yeah. First draft is done. This is so cool. We definitely got to celebrate. It's 2 o'clock now. We're going to wrap things up for this week, but I think next week we'll do something to celebrate the completion of this. I don't know, maybe I'll play Goat Simulator, or I don't know. I'll think of something this week. If you have any suggestions for what we can do on stream to celebrate the completion of our first draft, leave a comment, let me know. We also have a Discord channel that you can come hang out on during the week as well. Link to that and all my other stuff is in the description below this video. Yeah, thank you all so much for watching, for hanging out with me, for all the feedback and the ideas as we've been writing this. I'm happy with this. I'm looking forward to refining it and then going into production on it. I'll keep you all posted on progress as we do that. Yeah, that's it for me for this week. We will talk to you all later. Have a good one, guys.